Hey there, guys. Just want to, real quick before the video starts, mention that we now have a Discord for pretty much everyone to join. So if you'd like to, the link will be in the description. Go ahead and join. Remember to accept the rules. Get your role assigned. That way you can start, sort of chatting in the chat, get some help from everyone. I do try to respond to people in the Idleon chat. Everyone else has been pretty much helping, but we have a pretty functional tips and tricks going on. Nahsuy actually, one of the person who I previously done a review for, I helped him out. He's linked to some pretty good resources the Idleon Discord itself has, but you'll need to follow it to sort of get those to have access to those rules. So I did link that as well. I'll give you some advice there. So feel free to join, ask any question you have. Pretty much everyone's been helpful in the chat and been pretty responsive with everyone's questions. So thank you to everyone. We have such a great community going, and I just want to build it even more so we can help everyone else with their Idleon journey. It's kind of what this channel is all about. So without further ado, I do want to jump into this guy's account, Nahsuy. I believe he's in the Discord. Let's see where he's at actually. So he's pretty much into World 6, very like beginning World 6. Kind of early World 6 it looks like. Looks like he's back in lab, which is what I was gonna say he probably should be doing right now. He doesn't have Voidwalker yet. We'll talk a bit about this in a second. And yeah, it looks like he's active on his DK and he is fighting, or maybe active on his DK. I don't know who he's active on actually. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like he's probably statue farming right now is what it looks like. So you do have Choco Chip, which is good. I don't know what your drop rate is, but you have a really low crystal mob spawn chance. Actually, if you are crystal mob farming, I highly recommend going back, unlocking the poop card, because that gives you crystal spawn chance. I don't think you really should be crystal farming with that low crystal spawn chance. You also don't have the post office box upgraded. This one right here, this will give you a ton of crystal mob spawn chance. As well, let's go ahead and look at your stamps. This is somewhat low. I mean, you're almost kind of at the point where this is feasible to start crystal mob farming for Onyx statues. I'd recommend pumping this up another 10-20 levels, upgrading your post office box, equipping the poop card. That way you can help really juice out your crystal mob spawn chance, and it'll make it more feasible to use this for you to start crystal mob farming. But I think you're just a little bit behind. You're almost there, and you're almost able to start doing this. So if you do those things, you might be in a better position to do it. Okay, now let's generally talk about his account. Looks like he has roughly level 200 of everyone, except this Bubo and the Maestro, and he has a DK level 371, so you can tell who he focuses a lot on. I'd also recommend taking off on ending energy. I mean, you're fighting board beans, you're getting like no EXP anyways, and generally this prayer is really bad, so I recommend taking it off. Other thing I want to talk about is I'd highly recommend probably upgrading your tools on all your characters. Again, these give you stats, they give you a ton of damage. These tools are really good stat sticks, and you should treat them as such. The lower level they are, the worse benefit it's giving you. Also, just get off the stinky axes. They're generally bad tools. You can get better tools and give you more upgrade slots and give you more damage if you have a better tool. So I'd recommend probably getting everyone to void tools. I feel like that's pretty feasible for someone that's gotten to World 6. If it's not, you have some problems in your account we need to address, which we'll talk about that in a second, see if that's even feasible for you. Cool. Okay, so let's start from square one, World 1. And real quick, let me go ahead and open a little document so I can sort of side-by-side type. I haven't been doing the best habit of that, so let's go ahead and do that to sort of go through. So crystal mob farming, I'd recommend getting poop card, upgrading PO box for crystal mob spawn chance, and upgrading crystalline stamp more to get your character at a better crystal mob spawn rate. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about stamps as we go through the worlds. Let's go through kind of one by one. So you're in World 6. I feel like since you're in World 6, the basis, like real important thing you should be focusing on is getting your stamp level up. Stamps provide a good baseline for your account and give you a ton of damage, a bunch of stats, a bunch of skilling efficiency. There's a ton you can gain from stamps. And you don't have some of the easier ones unlocked, at least some of the ones you should be able to get through. I'd highly recommend unlocking the vendor stamp as well as sigil stamp. These are pretty much free. You go through the World 2 shop as well as the World 4 shop. You can buy it from there and get stamps from those, and you'll be able to, get some bonuses there. You'll be able to buy 2 of the boss guys, 2 of the boss things, to the silver antiques. So you'll be able to get like 2 dudes per day if you do unlock the shop stamp. So I highly recommend doing that, unlocking it, upgrading it a little bit, and just have better shop stuff. Also, getting forge capacity can be pretty good. For you right now, it's not going to be a main focus, but upgrade this when you can. Spend some money on it. Best thing for, just generally, I think what you should be doing is going back World 1 to World 5, unlocking the stamps that you've missed. You are missing some alchemy speed from drop table 11. If you're ever curious where to look, I'd recommend just hovering over the stamp in Idleon efficiency, typing it in, blah 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 in the search bar, typing in Idleon wiki, and it'll show you where that stamp is, what quest state it is, where it drops. It'll give you all the information where you can go to unlock it. Other big thing to mention is you don't have your 7-figure follower quest done. I'd highly recommend doing it on just one character and saving it, having it progressing on everyone else, so you can start green stacking those quest resources. But turning in this quest on one person is going to be really important because it'll give you Steve's Sword, which is % total damage stamp, and gold food effect from golden apple stamp. This is really important. This will help impact your account. As you progress sneaking, you'll unlock the gold food beanstalk, which will give you bonuses based off your gold food effect, so you need to scale that really high. Right now my stamp is giving me roughly 88% from this, so I mean you stand to benefit a lot from upgrading the stamp as high as you can and getting a bunch of gold food effect. As well, don't forget about boost food. It affects things like potions, so spend some time, craft some icing iron bites and upgrade this so you get some boost food. Try to upgrade this one as well. It gives you a bunch of carrying capacity. But I mean, going back to combat and skilling efficiency, I think this is where you stand to benefit a lot from. Specifically, your multi-tool stamp is only level 10. It is you can push this up way higher by getting a dust mote print on your Siegebreaker, so you can start juicing out this stamp. This stamp is really important for endgame. And I imagine when you're in World 6, you should really start focusing on your Atom Collider and getting high prints to really juice that out. I think you're suffering in skilling, and that's going to be the one thing to really help juice out your account. If you haven't focused, you haven't focused on Atom Collider, and you stand to benefit a lot from upgrading this. Getting higher levels of Boron means you're able to upgrade Alchemy pretty much every single day for free. You'll get, to start off, since you have, let me actually go back to Divinity. So you don't have Permeep unlocked yet. There's an achievement in World 5 that gives you plus 10 alchemy upgrades per day through the Boron upgrade. So if you don't have Boron, you don't benefit from it. But unlocking Permeep gives you 10 particles per day in alchemy. And once you unlock Boron, you'll get 2 per level. This will give you effectively 12 things you can click on for free in alchemy. So you stand to benefit a lot from upgrading this, and you get... Yikes. Okay, we'll talk about this in a second. But you stand to upgrade a lot to benefit from focusing on skilling, getting atom generation, unlocking the Boron upgrade, and you can really start juicing out alchemy. If I know you're probably struggling with damage and skilling a lot, alchemy is the answer to it. You haven't focused on this, and your account is really suffering. For someone in World 6, you're really, really far behind by not focusing on alchemy. So I 100% recommend focusing on this as soon as possible. Going back to stamps, so multi-tool stamps going to be a big one because this will increase the efficiency for every single one of your skills, cooking specifically. This plus ladle stamp, which you don't even have unlocked yet, are how you really juice out cooking. Cooking efficiency is how you get more ladles per hour. If you go back over to my Blood Berserker, you can see how much ladles I'm generating per day. This is going to be significantly higher than yours, but I'm 2,500 ladles a day on just one Blood Berserker, and I have 122 million cooking efficiency thanks to the chef rings, the chef hat, where the hell did that go, as well as those 2 stamps specifically I've really juiced out to help really generate a lot of ladles per day, and I can actually upgrade this right now, which I really want to. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't have money. Oh my god. But yeah, those stamps are really important. So I really recommend going back through World 4, unlocking those stamps and really juicing them out to help generate a ton of cooking efficiency. Look, I upgraded at 10 levels and I gained 4 million cooking efficiency. You can see how important that is. Like, it's really, really important. I highly recommend upgrading it. Anyways, I'm gonna have a stroke just yelling that much. I talk about this all the time. This is a really important stamp to do. I try to get your stamp level up to 7,500, if not 10,000. That's really feasible for someone in World 6. At least 7,500 is. You are suffering in skilling, so you're going to be kind of lacking in resources here and there. But I'd say the range of 5,000 to 7,500 is pretty good for you at this point. You can click on this box where you highlight stamps. Everything that's green, you have the resources to upgrade. Anything dark green, you have the means you just don't have used the money to upgrade it. So spend your money, upgrade the stamps as much as you possibly can. Okay, let's go over to World 2, Alchemy. Let's talk about this. So you're in World 6 and you barely have the bubbles for World 4 unlocked. I'd highly recommend going through unlocking everything into World 5. So Power of Try 1, Try 2, and Try 3 are really huge damage spikes for your account. This gives you damage based off of your character's main stat. So for archers, it's agility. For warriors, it's strength. For mages, wisdom. Every 250 you have of those is going to give you a lot of damage. You're obviously having juiced out your wisdom stat or your base stats a lot, so you stand to benefit from upgrading the stamps specifically for your base stats. Once you upgrade these, these are base stats. These do scale off of things like all stat percent. Once you upgrade these stamps, you'll get a ton of stats for your characters, which will help juice out your damage as well as efficiency for World 1, World 2 skills. So that's definitely something you want to do. I also recommend focusing on upgrading some of these earlier bubbles, specifically Mage's Best, Archer or Bust, and Warrior's Rule. Getting these up to a material cost of 100 million is going to be really important because you'll be able to add them these eventually when you unlock Boron. This will help you with these bubbles. The second bubble in each of the cauldrons except yellow are going to help you juice out everything about your account. If you're missing damage, this will help juice it out. If you're missing skilling efficiency, this will help juice it out. It'll also help with money percent. It'll also help with gold food effect for your warriors. It'll give you more catching efficiency. It'll give you more chopping efficiency. These bubbles right here, the second ones in the cauldron, are really, really important. You want to get them as high as you possibly can because they cost a low amount. And it's a really good thing to sink your early atoms in. So I'd highly recommend getting them up to 100 million resource cost, which is how you start atoming bubbles. Then go unlock Boron. Start using your atoms here to really juice out the account here. Okay, now let's talk a little bit what you can do to help progress your atom generation. So let's skip over to the atom collider. Let me actually go back and again, I'm really bad about the document here. So let's go recap. Stamps, unlock World 1 to World 4 stamps. World 5 stamps. Immediately. Hard focus unlocking. Ladle stamp, push more levels into multi-tool stamp, and upgrade stamps specifically for damage, skill efficiency. Alchemy. Before I make the recommendation you hard farm alchemy, let's actually look at your shaman. Okay. This is the problem. You can't really hard focus alchemy because your talent level, I imagine, is probably low. I mean, I imagine your book level is probably 165 or so is where you're at. So you can't really hard farm alchemy right now because you don't have the talent levels to push Tentacle up to 200. This is what makes Bubo active really efficient. Once it hits level 200, you're able to reduce your cooldowns by 3 seconds whenever you kill a monster. The percent chance to killing a monster gives you a percent chance to reduce your attack cooldown. This helps reduce the cooldown actively for cranium cooking, so you can do it like every 30 to 45 minutes early. I'd highly recommend trying to push to talent level 200 max in the library. So a few ways you can do that would be, let's go to the task board. There's an achievement for it. Take off... So you should really hard farm this achievement because it's really important. It gives you 5 max talent levels and 30 recharge rate in your library. Turn off this in the talent library and go spend some books and really hard farm getting 1,000. That way you have more books. More talent levels to help get your Bubo up to level 200. Get your talent level to 200 so you can get your Tentacle up to level 200. Really help juice out your alchemy. Cranium cooking will literally save you years to decades of time in this game. It is an extremely important upgrade, and you really need to hard farm talent levels to get Tentacle and cranium cooking up to level 200 to really juice out alchemy. It'll save you so much time, and you're missing out on a ton of bonuses in alchemy through like damage, gold food effect, more skilling efficiency. Overall, you stand to benefit a lot from focusing on alchemy and upgrading this as much as you can. Other thing I want to talk about your vials. I'd highly recommend trying to unlock everything World 1 to World 5, Equinox bonuses included. Vials give you a ton of bonuses to your count, such as material cost reduction for stamps, give you more worship points, so you can really progress worship a lot faster, more recipe cooking speed for cooking, more base giant monster spawn rate. This is how you get candies and gems pretty much every single week. You can get all stat, weapon power, pet team damage. If you're struggling with breeding, that would help you there. Divinity XP, sailing XP, cooking speed, more sailing speed, bits gained in gaming. They give you build rate here, white essence generation for World 6, like you base multi-kill. There's a lot of things you stand to benefit from just unlocking your vials and upgrading them. Like all these level 4, you've neglected vials so much, and you have vials give you a ton of bonuses. Like if I look at my vials and I have a bunch of level 13 vials which are getting boosted by Rift, this one specifically for statue deposit bonuses, since you are farming statues, if you don't have this high enough level at level 13, you're not going to get high statue deposit bonuses. Like you're not if you drop a stack of 20,000, it's probably just going to be 20,000 in your statue. So I mean, if you upgrade this, you'll have a chance of doubling that. So you make your statues even more efficient. You'll be able to push those levels even higher. So I highly recommend getting high prints and trying to push your vials even higher, because they give you overall account bonuses that you're missing out on. And I wouldn't focus on sigils. Like I said, I'd highly recommend trying to focus on progressing your bubbles. I mean, even Diamond Chef is an extremely important bubble that you really should be pushing. We'll talk about that when we come back to cooking. So Alchemy, hard. Your biggest grind right now, going to be getting talent levels actually. Pushing Bubo's talent Tentacle up to level 200, so you can hard farm and progress Alchemy. Regarding bubbles, when you go to unlock them, Shaman or your Bubo does have a talent under its Shaman page called Bubble Breakthrough. This gives you a higher chance of unlocking a new bubble when you're brewing on that character. So it'll make it easier pushing your World 5 bubbles that you don't have unlocked yet. As well, something to focus on is getting levels in extra speed and luck here. Luck will increase the bubble chance for the cauldron, so you'd be able to unlock new bubbles at a quicker rate. I highly recommend trying to do that. It'll help you unlock the World 5 bubbles much faster than it would on your other characters. Leveling up Bubble Breakthrough. To push higher chance to unlock new bubbles in Alchemy. I'd also recommend spending your cauldron charge on boost upgrades for speed, extra, and luck, so you have higher chance at even higher chance unlocking new bubbles. Perfect. Okay, and vials as well. Big thing about vials, upgrade them World 1 to World 3 even higher than level 4. All of the bonuses are important. I'd also unlock World 1 to World 5 bubbles ASAP. Oh, sorry, vials. I see vials, not bubbles. Construction. Okay, your refinery. So your refinery is out of whack a little bit. I imagine this is probably the reason why you can't push your tools higher. I'd highly recommend setting everything except red to red and green up to 10% auto refine, 25, 80, 95%, whatever, so long as it's not upgrading. I'd highly recommend trying to do that. And pushing, I really recommend looking at rebalancing your refinery as well. There's in our tips and tricks section, there is a refinery sort of chart for early refinery, which I mean you kind of are in. This should be pretty good at helping balance your refinery to fix some of the issues that you're having, so I recommend looking at that. In the tips and tricks section, you'll be able to find that. As well, Idleon Toolbox has a better resource for this. It'll show you actually the cost and production per hour breakdown of each of the salts to see where you're lacking, to help you hard focus on trying to upgrade them as much as possible. The sooner you get to infinite salt generation, so to speak, the easier it'll be. The goal in this game is to be as idle as possible, and your refinery right now is really active, and that's hurting your account because you have to spend a lot of attention trying not to over level or under level your salts to kind of brick you for a while. Salts are really important for pushing your building levels so you can push worship, and also really important for pushing your tool levels up to get your characters more damage and more efficiency for your tools. Okay. Let's talk about your 3D printer. So, as always, what I recommend in your account, your classes, your character should be focused on printing what their class specific resource is. So, with the exception of Beastmaster and Vman. So your warriors, your DK should be printing ores. Your blood berserker should be either printing ores or fish. Your mages should be printing logs. Your siegebreaker should be printing catching materials. Your beastmaster themselves should be printing mob materials for refinery, and your V-Man should be pushing high mob prints. So V-Man has a trick with the speed run. You can get really high multi-kill and mob respawn rate. I'm trying to put together a video because I do need to reprint, even though I just reprinted. But V-Man is able to get really high prints for monster materials, and that's how you are able to hit level 13 vials in pretty much all the mob materials World 1 to World 4 right now. I'd highly recommend doing mob prints on those two characters specifically because Beastmaster doesn't really specialize in anything. The Siegebreaker has the talents for catching specifically, so Beastmaster is better used for mob materials since you need to maintain your refinery. And V-Man specifically is meant to help flesh out the areas that Beastmaster is not doing, so some of the other mob materials, as well as trying to push level 13 vials. Everyone else should be on their skilling resource to help push atom generation. And now would actually be a good time to start talking about atom generation. So you stand to benefit a lot from pushing skilling efficiency to get more atom generation. Boron is a really important upgrade, and this is how you really juice out your account and getting more damage, more skilling efficiency, more EXP, more everything. Boron is how you do it. So the way Boron works is whenever your resource cost in Alchemy when upgrading a bubble is greater than 100 million, you'll be able to spend atoms per day to upgrade that bubble. So if I look at this, the resource cost of Spore Caps is over 100 million. It's capped at 1,000 million, so 1 billion. I can spend atoms per day to upgrade this bubble if I so choose, and it just acts like I spend the resources instead. So I use the liquid, I use the atoms, and I'll upgrade the bubble. You should be doing this every single day, and it'll help you progress your account. Alchemy is by far the biggest upgrade because it gives you the most widest account bonuses. It'll give you everything from skilling efficiency to anvil production to mastery to multi-kill per damage tier to kill per kill to diamond chef cooking speed to egg incubation time, card drop chance, shiny pet chance in the rift, more strength, more wisdom, more mining efficiency. I mean, it gives you everything in the game that you possibly want, and the longer you neglect this, the worse your account's going to be, the further behind you fall. Apart from that, Atom Collider also provides you with things like oxygen, which at just one level, and that's all you need in this, gives you 10 max talent levels, which is extremely important. As I mentioned before, your Bubo doesn't have 200 talent levels. This would help you push that even further. Because it gives you 10, which is a little bit closer to getting Tentacle at level 200, which is the breakpoint you need to really juice out your account and help progress Alchemy by literal decades of time. The next upgrade that's important would be Fluoride. Fluoride helps multiply your meal cooking speed. This plus this plus Diamond Chef plus the Blood Marrow talent for V-Man is extremely important at juicing out your meal cooking speed. Those three make up sort of the trifecta of a variety of things that do massively increase your cooking speed. Cooking itself is kind of like a mini alchemy. It provides a widespread amount of bonuses for your account, and if you don't have high cooking speed, you're kind of stuck behind for a while because cooking gives you so much. And I imagine your cooking speed is horrible, and you stand to benefit a lot from trying to push atom generation and upgrading your account in just about every single way. And the longer you wait on doing atom generation and focusing on skilling, the worse your account's going to be for a while. So your big focus should be on skilling right now to push out atom generation. And since we're here, we're mostly done with the stuff I want you to focus on World 3. Let's go into cooking. So you only have 70,000 meal cooking speed, which for someone in World 6 is deplorable. Like, you really should go back and hard focus the bubbles such as Diamond Chef. I imagine you have enough spice generation to actually upgrade this. Do remember that you can use bargain tags, and that does impact the bubbles as well. So if I spend, let's go and look at some of the bubbles I have kind of late game. So this bubble right now is costing me 33 broccoli. If I go spend some bargain tags, this will decrease the cost even further. It's only costing me 3. That is a massive decrease. Use your bargain tags every single day. Use them on Diamond Chef, and this will massively increase your meal cooking speed. You don't even have some of the meals at level 11 because you're so far behind in cooking speed, but this will help you juice out your cooking speed to help you get more meals to level 11, which will help you snowball, give you more cooking speed to get other meals to level 11, which again gives you more meal cooking speed to get your other meals up to level 11. So you have a lot to do in cooking, and you have some meals that are really, really easy to cook right now to give you a ton of meal cooking speed. Cabbage is the biggest early game upgrade for meal cooking speed, and it's only level 1 for you. Like, this meal alone is giving you would give you a ton of meal cooking speed. So you need to upgrade this, corn dog and egg, plus upgrading Diamond Chef and Alchemy, getting your other meals to level 11. You can sort by least time to cook next. You can see what, rather you can go even like least time to diamond. Like, this meal is only taking you another 2 days or so. It's going to take you a while to upgrade this, but the more meals you get up to level 11, the more upgrades you get in cabbage and corn dog and egg will give you more meal cooking speed. As well, one of the things you can do, you can upgrade this stamp even further. You have the money and the resources to upgrade this, so go ahead and upgrade that, give you more meal cooking speed. You're also missing one of the vials. You might be able to upgrade this as well. You can also get the Dreadnought. If you're in World 6, if you're at Fireflies, it gives you multiplicative meal cooking speed. But again, I think the biggest bonus for you right now is going to be upgrading Diamond Chef and Alchemy. And the other thing is getting Vman. Vman has a talent called Blood Marrow, which gives you multiplicative meal cooking speed based off the total levels of all the meals in cooking. Right now, it's giving me 311 QQ% cooking speed, which is insane. It's massive. It's one of the biggest multipliers, apart from Diamond Chef, that you can get in cooking. I'd highly recommend trying to focus that as soon as possible. So let's go back to cooking. Diamond Chef plus Blood Marrow from Vman plus Fluoride from Atom Collider are the biggest meal cooking speed bonuses that you could get right now. Use bargain tags to upgrade Diamond Chef even further. Use meals and upgrade cabbage specifically, as it's the biggest bonus to meal cooking speed early on. Okay. Apart from that, yeah. Unlock Vman ASAP. You're in World 6. You should very easily be able to unlock Vman. Vman, you can find, you're at level 150, so you'll be able to talk to the NPC. Go to the far right of like the dinner table for cooking in World 4. There'll be a Blobulite sort of hanging off on the edge. You'll be able to talk to him and start the quest for Vman. Let's actually look at your death note to see where you're at. I mean, you'll have a little bit of a grind. You need to get, I think, like 1 million kills in World 1 to World 3 in the death note. So I mean, you have some. You'll need to go back and do that, obviously, but you should be able to do that hopefully relatively easily. This is one of the requirements for getting Vman. The other one, I believe, is getting like 12 million, 10 million kills on Green Mushroom for your Maestro specifically, so get on that grind. And you'll be able to unlock it. Vman gives you a ton of upgrades for your account. It is by far one of the best. It is a support class, and it's one of the biggest upgrades you can get for your account. It'll help you in everything. It'll give you damage, it'll give you critters, it'll give you souls for the worship, it'll give you meal cooking speed. It gives you a ton of bonuses, and you don't have them right now, and you're missing out a ton by not having them. So absolutely go back and do that, unlock them. It'll really progress your account a lot. Let's talk about breeding. So I imagine your breeding's kind of lacking right now. I'd really try and hard focus upgrading your territory spices, or rather upgrading your pets to push the territory spices so you can unlock more meals. As I said, the more meals you have at level 11, the more Diamond Chef upgrades, the more meal cooking speed you'll be getting. As well, you should really look at the guide sheet that we have to help you progress breeding. It'll give you everything that you need to know. It'll give you the basics of it. It's pinned. It's one of the pinned comments in there. So, it's not actually. Let me pin that. There you go. It's pinned now. So that guide sheet is going to be really important to help you progress defense. If I pull it up right now and I go over to pets, this will give you everything you need to know. Early game progression, which you should be doing for Pet Arena to progress it, for Pet Battle Lines lineups for your spice for your spice generation, for pushing the battles, unlock more spices, that kind of stuff. Use your Beastmaster talent, help get you a free pass through the pet arena. And let's talk about divinity. So let's talk about lab first, actually. Okay, not bad. So what I'd recommend, get everyone linked to the Goat God and really push your levels in lab. Like, I'd probably stop what you're doing. This is really important, and it's one of the biggest time gates in Idleon is trying to get everyone to level 75 lab as well as level 40 divinity. Getting them to level 40 divinity is going to be really important. I think you have Dude based off of this, but I'd link everyone. Well, I mean, I don't know if you have Dude or not. If you do, then that explains a lot. But I'd get everyone's style, change it from Zen over to Tranqui. If you, I don't know if you know this, but you can go to the Divinity Altar, click on Style, click on Tranqui, make sure everyone's on Tranqui so that way, if they're not in lab, they'll get EXP outside of lab. If they're in lab, I'd probably link them to Zen or Mindful if you're at level when you push the level 80 divinity, that we can push it even higher. Level 80 divinity is kind of the end goal of what you'd like, what you want to push through. So go ahead and do that. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for you right now would be pushing lab level 75, which you're kind of doing on everyone except your DK. So go and do that, upgrade into level 75 so you can unlock the rest of your chipboard here. Get everyone, including your DK, up to level 75 lab to unlock the rest of your chipboard. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Rift. I think you have more important things to be doing than Rift. I feel like you could potentially go to level 6 in Rift to unlock Trap Box Vacuum to help you kind of mindlessly worry about trapping. This will make it so you don't have to worry about it as much, and it'll auto-collect the traps every 24 hours. That way you can set your trapping every 20 hours and it'll auto-collect. But something I didn't talk about, for trapping, I'd highly recommend trying to push up to nature traps. Your Vman should, your Maestro right now should really be focused on getting nature traps for blobfish. So try to push that level up even further. Focus on just skill, like EXP gain for your Maestro. Getting higher levels in trapping and worships can be really important, as it's one of the characters you want to push really high levels of those specifically. As well, use your worship on all your characters kind of equally every single day. The best way for you to gain EXP right now is going to be Acorn Assault. So using all of your charge on Acorn Assault will give you the most EXP for your buck. As well, max out skill Dimwit. This is really important for skilling. This gives you a ton of skill efficiency. When you unlock Midas Mind, this is incredibly important for your DK when he's crystal mob farming. This will give you a ton of drop rate. Obviously increases the max HP of all monsters, but World 1 monsters don't have that much HP, so scaling this as much as possible, even maxing it out, will give you a ton of drop rate. Maybe you want to level up Royal Sampler a little bit more. You want to get 90% sample rate, which if you go to your skill info, click on construction, you see that right here. 90% is the hard cap. You want to get that to 90% on all your characters as quickly as you possibly can, that we have higher prints, which again helps you focus on getting more atom generation. I imagine you're probably not there yet because your Royal Sampler, you actually don't even have that equipped on your characters. Go and do that. Royal Sampler, I know it's kind of scary with the EXP loss, but it is required for high prints. You absolutely need to equip it. I even have it equipped, and I'm late game. Like, I still need it. It's really, really important. You absolutely should equip that on every single one of your characters, no matter what. Like, do it. And let's talk about sailing. So you don't have a lot of boats unlocked. I imagine you're probably struggling with sailing a little bit. The best thing for you to do is go back to the first island, unlock Eldritch Fossary Tusk. The next big one for you to focus on trying to unlock is going to be 80 Tablet. This gives you a bunch of sailing speed, so you're able to progress the islands even faster. So yeah, I think you're on the first island based off this. So you're kind of doing that. Getting Ancient, sorry, I think I said Eldritch before, but Ancient Fossary Tusk is really important. Gives you more artifact find chance. This will help you push unlocking the other relics pretty quickly. 80 Tablet as well is going to be pretty important for giving you more sailing speed. And you do have artifact find chance through summoning, so sailing should be a lot easier for you now than it was prior to the World 6 release. Unlocking the rest of your relics can be pretty important, but you have a long grind to do in sailing. It's really important you do this. The one biggest piece of advice I can give you, apart from upgrading your tools and all that, the best advice I can give you is World 5 mobs have a gold food called Golden Hampters. That gives you sailing AFK gains. So this right here, it gives you a chance to gain sailing AFK gains. Obviously my gold food effect is pretty high, so this is obviously kind of inflated, but you should spread this out amongst all your characters. So when you go and claim them, like I do for here, for example, this character, you'll see it says progress for sailing. That'll proc occasionally when you have low amounts of Hampters. It'll help you progress sailing much faster than you are right now. It'll literally save you like probably months to years of time in sailing. So you need that equipped on all of your characters ASAP to really progress it. Since your characters are in lab, their equipment doesn't matter as much. So what you can do is actually go to Nightmare Efont. I mean, you have some keys, so you can kill Nightmare Efont with high drop rate. You can drop a helmet that he has called the Royal Turban. This gives you gold food effect, so it'll increase the effect of those Hampters. So you have a higher chance of claiming sailing gains when you're AFK and you go back to them. So finish your quest for those bosses till you get more keys per day. Collect them. Go run Nightmare Efont. Try to get the Royal Turban if you can. Really help juice out your gold food effect to even give you higher chance to gain sailing AFK gains for your characters to help you progress sailing even farther. So yeah. Golden Hampters on all characters. Spread them out evenly. These drop from World 5 crystal mobs. If you guys are curious what I'm doing, I'm just kind of doing the write-up, just doing a basic thing, and I'll kind of flesh it out later after the video ends. It's kind of what I do for pretty much everyone. I send it to them in Discord. That way they can start working on things while they wait for the video to come out. And help progress sailing by literal months to years. It's really important you do that to help juice out your account. Recommend trying to get the Royal Turban that Nightmare Efont drops. Get high drop rate. This gives you plus 15% gold food effect. Cool. Okay, moving on. Actually, not much to move on to. The other thing I really want you to focus on, I don't know if I talked about you specifically, but upgrade your tools. I think I did talk about this, but equip tools that your characters don't have, upgrade their skilling, that we can equip high tools for them. You really want to push everyone into void tools. I'd also recommend trying to upgrade your worship skull, that we get more soul charge per day. Once you upgrade this, you can use it as a stat stick to give your character more damage and more skill efficiency for their main skilling resource thing. So I'd highly recommend doing that. I'd also try to get everyone into serrated Rex rings. These give you a bunch of skill efficiency as well. Like I said, Atom Collider is going to be something you really want to focus on because it gives you a ton of bonuses that you're lacking on. So hopefully the focus, like I said, on stamps, alchemy, and equipping Royal Sampler, that'll help you progress atom generation. I think you stand a lot from getting a bunch of atoms per day. This should give you a lot to work on and think about. As always, if you do have questions for me in particular, anything that I need to help you clarify on, do reach out to me in Discord or ask in the general chat. Pretty much everyone there's been pretty helpful, and they'll be able to help you as well. So I hope that's enough for you to work on. I wish you the best of luck, and have a good day. And thanks everyone for watching. Have a good one.